Good morning, traders. I am Emily Vani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Tuesday, September 17th. The much-anticipated two-day FOMC meeting begins today. After markets finished mixed yesterday, the Dow and the S&P 500 ended the regular session in the green. The Dow added 228 points, or more than 0.5%. The S&P 500 inched higher by 7 points, or 0.13%. The NASDAQ closed in the red, shedding 91 points, or more than 0.5%. Bill, let's get into today's action with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, yes. Good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. We're showing a strong move to the upside. I mean, we're up 0.43%. Over 0.4%. That's a big move higher. Listen, the expectations for a 50 basis point rate cut is now at 68%. I can't believe that, but 68% for a 50 basis point rate cut from the Federal Reserve tomorrow. Today we got August retail sales due out before the bell. That could be a mover. Intel is like leading the Dow Jones Industrial Average higher this morning after they announced a deal to provide custom chips to Amazon Web Services. And let's not forget Microsoft. Microsoft's also showing some strong gains after a buyback announcement and dividend data. I see that a U.S. trade delegation is en route to China for talks over the wave of Chinese imports. This is kind of good for Amazon, I will say, and then let's take a look at what's going on overseas. We get we're looking in Germany, we're looking at the DAX. The DAX is up 141 points, or 0.76%. We're looking at the FTSE. The FTSE's up 57 points, or 0.70%. That's 0.7%. Then we're looking at the CAC. The CAC is up 55 points, or 0.75%. We're seeing in Europe, we're seeing gains in the banks, and luxury stocks are trading higher. In London, you got to remember UK inflation data is out tomorrow, and there's a BOE decision on Thursday. But the markets really are focusing on the global central bank decision, specifically out of the U.S. tomorrow. That's the main reason for the leg higher this morning. We're keeping an eye on oil because oil is, oil's odd, man. It was up this morning, then it turned negative, and now it's higher again. You're looking at WTI is at $70.31 a barrel. That's up about 0.3%, and Brent is at $72.80 a barrel. That's flat. It's up a nickel. But we'll have to see. The thing about oil is we get the stockpile estimates coming out this afternoon from the American Petroleum Institute. Now, they're likely to show that, a draw in stockpiles, even though we're at the end of the summer driving season, that Hurricane Francine, that kind of wreaked havoc, in production last week. So I expect to see a draw, which, could push oil prices a little higher and even oil stocks higher tomorrow. And we get the official data coming out from the EIA tomorrow, 1 hour after the market opens. So that's what I have for you in terms of a morning market update report, Emily.
Bill, in there, you did mention a number of economic events, and we will get to more details on that in just a moment. But before we get there, we will dive into earnings action. Even though there isn't a ton, there are some interesting companies to be keeping watch of throughout the week. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of earnings?
There's Ferguson, FERG, Frank Edward Richard Grace, a UK company. They beat by 12 cents on lower revenue. It is an ADR. The stock's trading down 0.5% this morning. Tomorrow morning, we get General Mills, ticker GIS. EPS is $1.05. Expected move is 4%. We also get Steelcase, ticker SCS, Sam Charlie Sam. Their EPS is 37 cents with the expected move of 11.24% when they release tomorrow, Emily.
And now we will get to the economic events. As you mentioned, eyes are on central banks this week, specifically right here in the U.S., the FOMC, and the latest on monetary policy, but some other reports to note. So, Bill, what is going on in terms of economic events?
Well, listen, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we get the retail sales report. That's going to be a key report that's coming out. The expectations are for a reading of a negative 0.2% as compared to the July data. That kind of supports what was said in the Beige Book data, which indicated that consumer spending ticked down in August. So I would be surprised if we see a little downtick there. And then at 9:15 we get industrial production. That could come in, out a little bit better. Estimates are for plus 0.2% increase for August. So that's kind of interesting. I will point out that there is a little Fed speak today, like this afternoon, I think around 4. Lori Logan of the Dallas Fed and Fed Governor Michelle Bowman are scheduled to speak, but it's not they're not going to be talking about anything with respect to interest rates or the Fed. It's just an event that they chose to attend. A little odd that they will be speaking, though, especially during during Fed week. In terms of the, CME, hey, 67, 68% chance of a 50 basis point cut. I mean, that's too aggressive. I still see 25%. I mean, you can't, you don't want to move that needle too far, especially because you got an election year coming up. The dot plot is going to be very important. I do expect the Fed to come out with a very dovish narrative tomorrow, but the odds of a 50 basis point rate cut being at 67, 68%, that just seems too aggressive to me. And the market typically does, get ahead of itself with rate cuts, but time will tell. We'll have to see, what happens when they make that announcement tomorrow afternoon, Emily.
And Bill, you are putting the pieces of the puzzle here, getting those pieces of data as they come in. Tomorrow, when that announcement comes, you'll be the first to see it, along with any commentary following it. And as you mentioned, the dot plot, gathering all that information in one fell swoop because you have your NewsWare and you're breaking it down into those economic alerts and the Fed alerts. You also look at other types of news alerts, things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news, other catalysts. You can watch news items coming in with your stocks grouped together, like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
I'm just kind of quickly looking at my Dow stocks this morning, and I'm seeing 24 higher, 5 lower, the rest unchanged. Okay. I'm looking at my FANG stocks. Apple's trading off a little bit, but everything else is higher, so that's a good start for the day. And then you're taking a look at some of the news that's behind the tape, and Apple's iPhone 16 is already selling at a discount in China as AI delays is cooling the demand. Yeah, that they didn't foresee that. Why get they're talking about the availability of these cool new AI features, but they're not ready yet. That's in upgrades to come. So yeah, that's kind of downticking the need for the new iPhone 16. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that story continues. Amazon, ticker AMZN, we're seeing some gains in the stock this morning, which is nice, up 0.8%. Their Prime Day deals, they announced that it's going to start on October 8th through October 9th. Stock typically likes to run hot into the Prime Day events. Meta Platforms, ticker META, they're planning to bar Russia media outlets from posting on their apps. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's talk about Dow Jones 30 stocks, and let's talk about Microsoft. MSFT, their board approved a new share buyback plan of up to $60 billion, and they're raising their quarterly dividend to 10% to 83 cents. Nice and positive for Microsoft. We're showing Microsoft up 1.82% this morning. We're talking Intel, ticker INTC. They're going to be making custom chips for Amazon Web Services division. We're looking at Intel this morning. It's up 7.08%. Ooh, nice move. We're talking Walmart, ticker WMT. Stocks up about 0.2%. They're selling their 9.3% stake in the Dada Group, ticker DADA. In terms of merger news, Smartsheet, ticker SMAR. We've been talking about this for a while. Sam, Michael, Apple, Richard. Listen, this deal's getting close. Blackstone is close to making that deal for an $8 billion to buy Smartsheet. That would be 56 cents a share, $50 a share, $56 a share. If you look at Smartsheet this morning, let's see, where is it at? It's at 53. So at 56, there's still a premium, in between that. That kind of makes sense. But, if you can get in at 52, I mean, it should trade 53 once the deal is announced. But you want to be able to get in and get out quick. But Smartsheet looking to be bought out by Blackstone Group in an $8 billion deal. Pending. This is a rumor. It's not done, but it does look like it's going to happen. We're talking Steel Dynamics, ticker STLD, Sam, Tom, Larry, David. They see Q3 EPS coming in at $1.94 to $1.98. The street estimate has it at $2.10. That's a negative for Steel Dynamics. We're talking shareholders meetings. We're talking Cisco, ticker CSCO, ticker ADI, Apple David India, Clorox, CL, Affirm, AFRM. They're all presenting, today at the JP Morgan All-Star Conference. Something could be happening in those stocks. You look at it, Cisco, for example, it's already up 0.2%. Electronic Arts, ticker EA, Alvis Alpha. They're having an investors day today. Could be something there. We're talking buyback news. I already told you about the Microsoft one, which is a big one. But Innova International, that's ticker ENVA. Elvis, Nancy, Victor, Alpha. They announced a 300 million share repurchasing plan. In terms of catalyst calls, Gannett, ticker GCI, Grace Charlie India. They announced they got put on a 90-day positive catalyst watch by Citibank this morning. That's kind of interesting. But that's what I have for you in terms of news hitting the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. It is now that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, what do you have for us today?
Listen, I'm going to go with Palantir, ticker PLTR, Paul, Larry, Tom, Richard. Got added to the Bank of America's U.S. Focus 1 list report this morning. That's positive. It's going to get included into the S&P 500. That's positive. You're looking at yesterday's call volume, 421,990 versus 199,239. That's 2-to-1. That's good on the call volume side. Major brokers do like the stock. They're positive on it, but the key is I got to get in cheap. And the stock's up 1.74%. I do think, there's going to be an opportunity to get in at 3650 area. So, that's going to be kind of my point to kind of get in. I want to get in at a discount. 3650 is kind of where I'm looking for. But Palantir, ticker PLTR, Paul, Larry, Tom, Richard. That's my stock of the day, Emily.
Palantir it is today. We will follow that along with you. And coming up, we will do a recap on yesterday's pick of the day, so stick with us. But ahead of that, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Ticker TALK, Tom, Apple, Larry, Kilo, Talkspace teams with Amazon Health Services for online therapy. Interesting. Salesforce.com, ticker CRM, they announced expanding collaboration with Saks Fifth Avenue. They also announced Agentforce partner network for third-party AI agents. Honeywell and Samsung team up to reduce power plant emissions. Oracle's Opera Cloud Hospitality Management Platform selected by Hyatt, ticker H. Palantir AI platform selected by Nebraska Medicine. There's another one for you. Cigna, ticker CI, they're suing the FTC over the agency's PBM report. That's the Physician Benefits Management report. Okay, what else do we see here this morning? Lilly, ticker LLY, they received FDA approval for eczema treatment. VNDA, Victor Nancy David Alpha, they have a PDUFA date tomorrow. There's a bunch of trade officials going over to China for meetings on Thursday and Friday as China's exports really increase. This could actually be good for Amazon. That's all I'm seeing this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we get to trading on this Tuesday, let's do that check-in on yesterday's pick of the day, which was Salesforce. Now, we did just hear you mention Salesforce and the expanding collaboration with Saks Fifth Avenue. As you told us yesterday, the annual Dreamforce conference does begin today. Headlines already starting to come out, including one that Agentforce Partner Network that Salesforce is launching. This is for third-party AI agents. It's a partnership between Salesforce and IBM to provide pre-built AI agents and tools so organizations can use them with their own IT environment, with their own data and control over their systems. So this is just a few of a bunch of headlines that I'm sure will be coming out today. So you were looking to get into the stock yesterday, anticipating that there would be some momentum higher. So how did your call work out?
It worked out fabulously. Just look at the numbers. The stock opened up 254.57. I had an entry price of 254.50, and but from there it ran to a high. It went from 254.57 and ran to a high of 257.57, and it closed at 245.57. But you look at the stock this morning; it's at 259.20. So yeah, I mean, we have the Dreamforce conference going on today. There's a couple of good press releases that came out today. Benefited in stock, moving, made its 1% yesterday for sure, and definitely today it's up 1%. So you got to appreciate Salesforce.com. It was the idea was solid, and it followed the expectation. So Salesforce.com, ticker CRM, Charlie Richard Mary, worked out yesterday, Emily.
Doing just as you expected there, Bill, off of those news items, and we will check in with you tomorrow about today's Palantir pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.